Hello, my name is Gift Mugano, and this is IN4, your weekly news in 4 minutes. The Zimbabwean government has been accused of harboring Ph.D. Mpiranya for more than 2 decades. Mpiranya was wanted for crimes against humanity as he was at the apex of the Rwandan genocide. The remains of Ph.D. were found at Granville Cemetery in Harare, putting an end to the search of the decade. However, the Zimbabwean government, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, issued a statement denying the allegations. Allegations such as these have the potential to derail Zimbabwe's re-engagement not only with the West but with other African nations as well. Mpiranya was wanted by the international community for crimes against humanity, and his involvement with Zimbabwe has grave ramifications on its image. The government has clearly shown that reactionary policy making fuels policy inconsistency. On the 17th of May, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe rescinded with immediate effect the suspension of bank lending that was part of the measures to restore economic stability announced by the president a week earlier. Before the rescission, the RBZ had initially excluded producers of commodities like sugar, maize, and tobacco from the president's lending ban. This came after big companies like Tonga Tuilets had announced a pause on support to smallholder farmers due to lack of access to loans from banks. Due to the inability to borrow from banks, many suppliers of goods and services announced a shift from transacting on an accruals basis to a cash basis. The government has authorized the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority to suspend import duty on a select list of basic goods such as flour, rice, cooking oil, and maize meal for 6 months. This was done to ensure citizens access to affordable basic commodities because of the recent substantial increases on prices of locally produced goods. Statistics from the Zimbabwe National Statistics Agency ZimStat show that the annual price inflation increased by 96% in April. From a month-on-month perspective, prices increased by more than 15%, the highest monthly inflation outturn in 20 months. Despite excessive wage erosion caused by the depreciation of the local currency, salaries have largely remained constant, plunging many households into poverty. Nevertheless, suspending duty will disproportionately benefit the rich with the capacity to import, thus widening inequality. In the week under review, the government announced that by the end of this month, the ratio of blending petrol with ethanol will be increased from the current E10 to E20. Authorities expect this policy stance to reduce petrol pump prices by 7 cents. Petrol blending was introduced in April 2022, starting at E10 after the government had suspended blending in January 2022 due to production shocks caused by the rainy season. Zimbabwe is a net importer of fuel, yet global crude oil prices continue to rise, driven by artificial shortages being created by the Russia-Ukraine war. Since countries are seized with devising ways to cushion citizens from the impact of this war, it is the public's view that the government should also allow ethanol imports as it has done on food. This brings us to the end of our bulletin. Please join us once again next week.